Isn't that cool? Shock&Awe? Shock&Awe 3? The Shocker. Here with Billy Lyons, my brother, my friend, Mr. Spacey Tattoo, TNT, Rock and Roll Tattoo, and Sneaky Tree. Former writer, or maybe present, I don't really know, for Horseback Street Chopper magazine.
Yeah.
You've been doing a lot of stuff, man.
First
of all, let me say thanks for being here, man. I love you, brother. I'm so fucking happy that you're here.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I'm not excited for that.
I'm so happy to be here. I'm really excited about this what you're doing. I think this is going to be a great podcast.
I appreciate you giving me a chance to, showcase what you're doing, because I think it's worthy and it's pretty cool. So
thank you.
So tell me, what's been going on, man?
Well, I mean, I've been
a lot of projects.
I've been a tattoo artist for almost 27 years now, and I've had a lot of luck with it and a lot of hard work. With Spacey Tattoo for years and years, 20 years I had that business, and then Hurricane Katrina came along. I opened up TNT the same weekend it came in. We slept in the shop there.
Wow.
We had a bunch.
What year was that?
05, right? I believe. Well, Katrina came in. I had a bunch of gas cans, and I had some chainsaws, and I had a bunch of alcohol, and Sabian was a little kid then, and we slept in the tattoo shop that weekend, and I ended up learning how to carve tikis. So I was carving tikis and watching people run out of gas right in front of the shop.
Come up just a little bit closer to the tank.
All right. How's that?
Shot. That's good. Perfect. So you opened up the tattoo shop the same weekend that Hurricane Katrina came through. Now, what kind of we obviously know what damage it did to New Orleans and the coast of Mississippi. What did it do up in Meridian in your area?
I like to say that Katrina was a greedy bitch, because she definitely ate everything that she could eat, and she came through, and I think that's probably the worst one since probably Camille. I was born in '69, so I was either a baby or not quite born yet. I can't remember. My dad actually did work Hurricane Katrina and help people during that time with the Salvation Army.
Yeah.
And the way he described it, there was a lot of people they found people dead in places that you couldn't imagine people was there, because the wind just picked them up, put them there. They found a baby in a tree. That was my dad. Found a baby in a tree. Baby's okay. So Hurricane Katrina was like that. Hurricane Katrina just destroyed not only people physically, but it destroyed Katrina. Destroyed New Orleans and places like the soul of it. Right. I grew up in Louisiana and a lot of places, but Louisiana and New Orleans, I consider that my home. And when I was a kid, I ran away from home. I ended up living there, from 17 to 19 until I met you, and the people that were there, the faces that you seen when you go to French Quarter, they've always been there. And then when Katrina came, they bust them out of there, and they're gone.
I was living up in New York at the time,
yeah.
And it was probably maybe almost 2 years after the fact before I went back to New Orleans to see, and it was still devastating. It was still crazy.
It still is devastating.
So let's get back to tattooing and TNT.
Right. Cool.
We know what Katrina did. It was devastating. It was terrible. But let's talk about what Mr. Billy Lyons and Spacey has been up to. Movies, music, touring, motorcycles. Man, go. You got tons of shit to talk about. Let's hear it. I want to hear it all.
Well, when I had Sabian, I had to stop playing music because it was either take care of Sabian or Sabian goes with his mom, and then I wouldn't be responsible for him. I already been through this with another child. I chose to play music and not take care of the baby like a everyday dad should.
Right.
It's not that I didn't want to.
Just put music first.
I put music first, and so I said, you know what, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to be here for this kid, and I did. Man, I traded 19 years of selfishness for an awesome relationship, which I'm so glad, because we've been together, and we're not only father and son, but we're also great friends too.
Right. That's awesome.
It's hard to do that, but So to take something music that's been everything to me, you're the same way.
Put it on the back burner.
Put it on the back burner. You guys say, well, what can I do to fill the void of me doing that? So, tattooing was something to pay for,
But not only that, it's also a great artistic output as well,
It is, but
not everybody can be a tattoo artist.
but you remember back in those days, man, me and you, that was our plan, to do tattoos together, and then we would use that to pay for Marshall amps and Fender.
I'm gonna do some
guitars.
tattooing on my back tonight.
Yes,
I'm ready.
I did.
It's been a while, man.
It's been a while.
We've been working on this piece for about 4 years.
Yeah.
Well, we don't see each other often, so
Right.
it's like I'm not in Mississippi often, and usually when you're down here, you're busy with
life's taking over, man.
Stuff. Yeah, so we balance it out and we get together whenever.
This tattoo is really important to both of us to finish, man. And when we started out, it was like really small. And we decided, dude, we're going to change this and put this somewhere else. And then we did. And, life took over. But I'm really looking forward to finishing this thing, man.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to finish it tonight, but if we can get a little shading or something done.
We get a good hour in there, and that's going to be
We need some more design work on my back, though. There's a lot of open space there, so.
I agree. But there's a lot that we can go forward with. And I like using the right tool for the right job. And one thing that I have gotten into very much so in the past 20 years is tools. You got everybody goes in the middle of the night and find some kind of tool, screwdriver or something to fix something for for your wife or your girlfriend or something, and it's the wrong tool, and you're like, burn out the edges. Maybe you got to replace the time clock or the battery in your your apparatus that wakes you up in the morning, and it don't work. So I'm into the right tool for the right job. So I realize, time is really important. So if you take to doing tattoos, let's go to that. That's what we're talking about. So back in the day, 20 years ago when I got tattooing, you had basically these little bitty needles, and you had to do big tattoos with them. And they're like, man, it would take forever to do these big tattoos.
Right.
So back then it was like 3 needle liners, 5 needle liners, and 7s, man, were like humongous to us. We're like, wow, this is such a power line. Now I'm using 14s easily, Shaders, it was 4 flats and 6 flats, and they're just flat rake needles. And when you're working in people and you got roundness on them, you're just like tearing people up on the side. So
what's some of the cooler pieces you've done over the years?
Everything big. I like doing big stuff.
I just saw, I never even knew this. David Lee Roth has like a full like Japanese tuxedo. Did you know that? I never even knew the dude had that. But
I'm so glad, David Lee Roth, if you're watching this, man, you are one of my heroes. I always steal, man. You are Van Halen, So you are Van Halen.
So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. He keeps it hidden.
Yeah.
You never see it, even if he's got his sleeves rolled up. It's not showing it off, but it's there.
I remember back in the day when I saw him in a hit parader, and I was in back of the Salvation Army. My parents' Salvation Army huge station wagon. And a friend of mine was like, hey, look at this. And it's like David Roth, and he had his hair pulled back, and he's all handsome, badass looking and shit. And you're like, damn, that guy's cool. I didn't know what damn meant then, but I remember reading about it, and he was talking about his riff with Sammy Hagar and all. And no offense to you, Sammy, but, you ain't David Roth and all that. And I was like, damn, that guy's cool, man. And then it showed him doing martial arts and all that. And I didn't know about the tattoos because I know that he's, he is kind of a private guy. And I remember they sang that song about tattoo, and there I was like, man, guys ain't got no tattoos.
They were one, yeah.
I don't think
the rest of the band does.
No, man.
They're one of the rock bands that didn't go the tattoo route, like Motley Crue or some other.
They really go the route,
bands.
man, because when David Roth and them split ways, that was it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really was,
Van Hagar,
and I'm not a Van Hagar fan. I'm a Sammy Hagar.
So,
I can't drive. No, hold on. I can't drive 55. That's cool. But anyway, I'm obviously never going to get to go to his island now.
Was that a possibility?
Not now. Can't afford his tequila anyway. Just saying.
Tequila. You want some tequila? I
No.
don't have any tequila.
No, not now.
Tequila?
Crystal will kill me.
I do have some medical cannabis.
Oh, yeah. Fan of that.
Florida's a legal state now, and I'm a legal card holder.
I'm Mississippi, so I do not smoke marijuana. But maybe if I'm in church and have been playing the same song or heard the sermon, I may pick up my pipe and light it up and toke it for a minute. But
what's the laws like in Mississippi right now? What happens if you get stopped by a cop and you got a little bit of pot on you?
You'll lose your license probably for a year.
For a year?
Yeah.
You go to jail? Will they arrest you?
Yeah.
They always arrest you?
I think so, probably.
Because even a lot of states, a lot of cities have decriminalized. Yeah. So as long as you're not stoned right then and driving, but if you just have something on you, you know, they don't arrest you. They can just give you a citation.
I think that it's probably more or less probably played out that the officer that's there may understand and may drop it and say, hey, you know what, you know, get out of here. But I think that people actually feel now that it should be legal on both sides of the fence. Do you
remember the first time we came down to Florida to record at Full Sail, the van?
And I was actually thinking of that.
We were riding in a van, smoking a joint, and got pulled over at in the parking lot of the studio. Right. And those cops are actually pretty cool.
They were real cool.
They could have really screwed us over.
Well, the one was cool.
The one was cool.
And it was a Van Halen tie-in.
And he was like, did you guys go to see Van Halen? But no, he just had Bob found Bob's. He didn't find everybody else's spot.
He did not find that.
But he just made us pour it out, and the class that was recording us that night at Full Sail were all standing outside like, oh, there's our van. Yeah, here it is.
We're all over there getting
pulled over in the parking lot.
It's like, we're real rock stars, you know.
We'll be in there to record in a minute.
Hopefully.
Get that console fired up, buddy.
The guy said, like, look, man. All right, let's back up a little bit. So we're riding down the road. Me and Darren actually in the back seat, and we're like, you know, passing a joint.
We're smoking a joint.
I know. We looked over at the cop, and he looked over at the cop. He's like, we're like, me and Darren's like, oh, we're gonna screw our recording deal, you know. So like, I had like a whole bag. Where he's like, Darren's like, eat it. I was like, so I'm like trying to eat it. I'm like trying to choke it down. I was like, man, I can't do it, man. So I stuffed it in my pants. And Bob, like, he, like, put up under his...
he had the fanny pack.
Yeah, man. It's like, they totally found that shit, man. I was like, well, we can get another drummer, can't we?
When you kids play drums?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was... things have changed a lot since then. So,
I think
Florida, there's still a lot of people in Florida that are fighting against it, but it's, you know, it's at least medical...
Yeah.
Right now, they're fighting to push for recreational. Because, I mean, let's face it, it's stupid to have people locked up in prison over a plant. It's a plant that grows from the ground.
All right, it is.
This is worse.
The alcohol is worse.
To be honest with you. But whatever. I love beer, too.
I like beer also, man.
What were we talking about before we went on that rant?
Well, let's go back
to... You've been doing some cool shit recently. Tell me a little bit about this movie you've been working on.
All right. I'm in a movie with, one of our best childhood friends, Reggie Thomas. Yep. And Reggie wrote a fantastic story. Well, he I don't know how you say that, but he wrote a great screenplay, and the movie's called John Nieto, An American Spirit Walk. It's going to be coming out this year. We're shooting for March. It's going to be a streaming platform. If you don't know who John Nieto is, you have actually probably have seen who John Nieto is. He's a great American painter. He's the Southwestern style painting. I think that I can show you some images you can put on in here during our interview. But John Nieto is his artwork speaks for him. He's more or less the type of person that wants to paint. You know, that's all he wants to do is paint.
And on film.
Man, his paintings are amazing, and a lot of them are really huge. I like to paint big paintings myself because, starting from being a graffiti artist in New Orleans, and I feel a lot of similarities to John. John's big thing about it was color. His use of color was more important than using black. He used color to make black. And if you take all the colors, all the primary colors, you put them together, you make a true black. If it's all equal and all that. As long as there's no white in it, and then mixing the color, you can make black. Otherwise, it kind of gets clay-like colors.
Right.
John died a little over a year ago, 81 years old.
Oh.
Yep. And John wore black. He's like the man of black in Native Americans. His story is amazing, and I don't want to blow a lot of storyline on it, but we do have a page up on Facebook, John Nieto, American Spirit Walk. Please go to that and like it. We'll have a bunch of updates. There's a little bit of little snippets of the film in there.
So it's a documentary style, but with dramatization scenes in it.
Yeah, so it's a movie doc.
Okay.
Documentary movie. And
cool.
Reggie, when we were growing up, when we wrote music together, and I got chilled when I was talking about it. Reggie, remember, he would like try to write songs with no chords on them. And we're like, man, what are you talking about, dude? You don't smoke weed and you barely drink beers. I mean, what are you doing over there? And he would do it, man, and we'd like, and our music was just a great journey. Well, he's learned how to do that with film and stories. And well, I didn't say he learned it; he adapted that to film. So we went about 14 days. We got an RV and we drove all over New Mexico, which was John's, his homeland. John's Mescalero Apache.
Oh, okay.
And John spent a lot of his time in his life, in New Mexico, painting New Mexico people, animals, and landscapes. So we spent 14 days out there in the wild. We went to several locations. We went to the desert. We went to the mountains. We went to streams. A lot of mountainous area. A lot of climbing mountains and stuff. And 40-year-old cowboy boots. I'm not a cowboy boot kind of guy. But
Were you wearing boots?
I wore boots for 14 days. I got them, man. I'm like, those boots, man, were not made for walking.
Are any boots? I don't know.
They ain't made for climbing a mountain 4 times. I mean,
how the hell did cowboys do that in boots? In those kind I don't know. Like
they won 6'5" and 250 pounds. I'm gonna tell you that.
So I'm gonna interrupt you for just a second because since this is the holidays, I actually bought you something, and I was waiting till you came over here to give it to you. It's this book that I actually saw on the Joe Rogan podcast. He had the author on there, and it really caught my attention. So I got a couple of them. So I got you one to read it, and it's really about the Comanches and just the way their impact on this country and the white man moving out west and the great warriors that they were. And I haven't read it yet, but I got you a copy too.
Man, thank you so much. I saw that. I was like, wow, I want that. Quanah is a.
He was the son of a white woman in
he's
Comanche, and he became the chief, right?
Right, sure did. And the guy was. You can see by the look on the serious face he had.
Apparently, he was a brutal warrior.
He's very brutal.
But he also didn't he ride in Teddy Roosevelt's inauguration presidential parade?
I don't know about that.
I think he did. No, there's pictures online you can find.
He was also. I mean, when you say brutal, you mean
I mean, war is brutal.
It is brutal.
You can't be nice and be in war.
Right.
But it wasn't just brutal against the white man. It was against other tribes too. They fought. They were warriors.
If you look at him, you see. When you look at this book and you see him, that's the stoic look that we're known for. Native people are known for. I mean, he's nailing it. He's got, he has like a royalty kind of look about him. But there's more.
Very serious. A lot of depth to that face, though.
And something to back it up. He has a spirit behind him. He has a strength. He has the, he has power behind him. And no offense against like royals and all that, they kind of sissy-fied looking, man. Oh, I've been born into royalty. Well, good for you, but
I don't think that they went through what this man went.
Not at all. I really appreciate that. I'm gonna read that book, man. I haven't got to read a book in a while.
We're reading it at the same time, so the next time you're here, we can really talk more in depth on it because right now I don't really know that much of the story. I said, I saw it on another podcast. I have to
familiarize myself with it too.
It seemed like a very interesting book, and it's been a while since I've read a book, and I want to, when something comes along that really draws my attention, it makes me want to read it. So
one thing about stuff like this is when we look at American history and how it's taught in schools now, they omit all this. When I was a kid, though, I do remember reading about Quanah in American history. Our history books have been homogenized and
Yeah.
Totally. And you don't hear nothing about that. Natural or Native American history is something that has been a passion of mine, and you've known that for years.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been collecting a lot of books about them. Our history goes back, and a lot of it was oral history before that, but we wrote it down. Hey, that people say, well, that's oral. They could have made that up. Yes, they could have made that up, but and I'm gonna get a little weird here, maybe. Some people, who Aristotle or how you say his name?
Aristotle.
Yeah, that guy. All right, he talks about educators about Atlantis.
Yeah.
Right, and that was 10,000 years before he came. Right, maybe fact check me. I don't care. And they had an oral history that came down from and talked about that, and he talked about it in great detail. And now we know about it because him. And how many years ago was that? Might as well be 10,000 to me. Yeah. Especially as quick as time is going now,
right, with
technology and all that. Look, all this history right here, we had this stuff figured out. America, we had the United States figured out, or whatever, the land figured out. We had that figured out, and all of that, was got erased by technology. The quest for technology, bigger, better, faster.
Yeah.
And I fear for our future. Of course, you do too. You and I, we come from, and a lot of people our age, we all come from the we can make this thing happen by using our hands, and making things and all that. And I hate
DIY, hard work.
DIY, and we love that. I mean, we
That's
love
what
that.
I'm doing right here. I started this podcast. Just I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm not a videographer. Well, I'm not a video editor. I just taught myself.
If you want to do it,
I'm not a host of a podcast, but now I am.
You're doing a pretty good job at it. So I think that as we keep going in the future, things are going to snowball faster and faster and faster, and if you look at these ancient civilizations, like they had these big cataclysmic things happening. I think that maybe that happened because those people snowballed into forgetting who they are with land.
Do you know the story of his mother? How his mother became part of the tribe?
I think she was kidnapped or was caught pretty much, and she got I think
is the movie with the movie Dances with Wolves, is that kind of loosely based on that?
No, I don't think so.
Have you ever seen that with Kevin Costner? It's a pretty good movie where the white lady was originally kidnapped by the tribe, but then she becomes part of the tribe.
Pretty much. I mean, that's a big story. In Native American when you got these two cultures that clash, and a lot of people will say white people and Native people. I don't really. In this day and time, there's a lot of white people, but it's more of a machine from Europe or America, the American machine that's taken over Native people. So in that machine, there's many different types of races in that. So to call people white people or black people,
right,
we're just generalizing a ton of races.
Oh, yeah.
I more or less would like to say that, the quest for America is more that. Now, back then, they would say, the white people came here and all that. I don't know. We're programmed to say that.
Right.
But on Europe, man, you got different types of people that are not necessarily the same blood. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not trying to get all like,
I know I keep throwing wrenches in there to sidetrack what we're talking about.
No, keep on doing it. I'm having a good time.
That book was just totally, I want to read it. And so next time you're here, we'll talk about it. And
well, you know what?
Maybe I could educate myself a little bit.
Well, you know what? You're already tying something back into that movie, man. Spirit walk.
Well, we were talking about that, and that's what brought that.
You just tied it right back in there, is what I'm telling you. You did, because every great person, they go through what we like to call a spirit walk. You take a walk inside yourself, and you fine tune yourself. If you're really trying to. Sometimes we do it on accident, like people what's that great actor, man, that's gone through prison and came back out and sobered his life and all? What's that dude, Danny Trejo?
Oh, Trejo.
That guy, I love that guy. He's awesome. he seems like such a positive guy. You know, he's got this face that's been through hell and back, but man, when he smiles, he makes you want to smile.
You can see the miles he's ridden.
Yes, but he's got a rejuvenated spirit. When you see that, you know that he's been through a spirit walk. So some people's been to prison, some people go through a great tragedy, or some people just say, man, I got to do something better in my life. So they go through a spirit walk. John's spirit walk, that we call that, and, you know, the guy went through such great heights in his career, man. You know, one of them was, you know, the President Ronald Reagan. They invited him to the warehouse, to the American warehouse of justice, and whatever you call that,
League of Justice.
Yeah. So that was, you know, Ronald Reagan. He brought him in there, and John was like, "Oh, it's kind of cool." You see the look on his face in the pictures. He's like, "Oh, hey, whatever," you know. Yeah, like, and Ronald Reagan's like, "Hey, look, I got all these cool things." He's like, "Okay, show them to me." My great grandmother was a Cherokee Indian princess. You know, he hears all that, I'm sure, and you know, and then. But John's spirit walk that we basing this off of, he went through a series of strokes, man, and he was gone, totally gone, man. And this guy is an American master painter. He's a master painter, and I'm not talking about a master painter. I'm talking about name a great painter off the top of your head.
Da Vinci.
He is. Well, Da Vinci is more inventor.
Right, yeah. Da
Vinci can do anything. He's an alien.
Picasso.
Yeah, Picasso. He is a Picasso. And anybody want to challenge me, just go look at his paintings. He's done his homework. He's done that. He studied Picasso. Yeah. He went to the Louvre. He did independent studies in the Louvre. Found out that, you know, that's not where he wanted to go. You know. But anyway, that's what that's about. You know, every person in their life, man, that tries to truly do something great, are going to be drawn to that spirit walk to make them, you know, a better person, you know, or transcend into the person they want to be, you know.
Yeah, I think I've been transcending for a little while.
Well, you know,
I have setbacks. Sometimes I feel like I'm there. I've come through a lot, and things, you know, have changed. I've changed, and then something happens, and you go back, and you feel like you're lost again.
Yes, I do. I'm going through that myself.
You know, I think you try to push forward, and I don't know if I call my own quest a spirit walk, but I've definitely gone through a lot of things in my life and come out the other side, which is kind of like the basis of my album that came out. It's been since 2010 now. It's been like 9 years, almost 10 years. But stepping through shadows, you know, stepping through my own shadows, shadows, the things that were holding me back, you know, I had to step through it and move forward. So I guess that you could relate that to a spirit walk.
Well, I liked it. I loved your music, man, because when I listened to it, I could feel stories and stuff. You know, I do that. I mean, I really did. I have all your stuff, you know, from back then.
Well, man, I mean, from the time I started playing bass, you taught me so much about music, and you know, you just being a part of my life was pretty big deal. I guess, for lack of a better adjective, it was a pretty big deal, you know, with the path that it set me on, and you know, and the music that we made together, and all the things we experienced as young men together. You know, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Me neither.
So
I wouldn't.
Anyway, let's get back to this movie. So Reggie wrote the movie, but he wrote the screenplay and the dramatization scenes based on the artist. What's his name again? Say his name.
John Nieto.
John Nieto. Okay. I mean, I hate to sound stupid, but I'm not that familiar with him.
No, it's okay. That's all right, man.
This is an education for me.
You know what? I just got to tell you a little bit how this came about. So, about 2 weeks before Reggie left, you know, we had the same conversation you and I just had now about how much our lives were impacted by being with each other during these early, you know, in our 20s and all, and then. And the music and all, and then you know, we're drinking and crying and slapping high fives, and so he moves to Huntington Beach, you know, because we're separating there. You know, he's living in Meridian, Mississippi, and he moves to Huntington Beach, and he's always loved that place, and he's like, I'm just gonna go there, I'm gonna do my thing and make it happen. So, you know, he goes out there and they go. Reggie and his wife and his lovely daughters, they go get some ice cream in their neighborhood. So at that place there, he got struck in a conversation with a very interesting lady named Renee, and they start talking about, you know, well, what, you know, she likes to talk to you and see what you're doing. You know, she's not a bragging person by any means at all. She's just a very lovely person to talk to. And so, they start talking to Reggie, and Reggie's like, oh, yeah, I make films and all that and documentaries, and I'm a photographer. And she's like, well, we always want to make a documentary about my husband. And then she, Reggie, discovered who her husband was. He's like, wow, I know who that is,
So Reggie met
by chance
his wife
eating ice cream.
His widow wife
yeah.
eating ice cream.
Eating ice cream outside.
Wow.
Outside
That's
in
the story.
So then she's like, I want you to meet my son. And then we get to meet our good friend, our brother, Anaya. And Reggie and Anaya, they just hit it off. Anaya's like one of us. At first we're like, oh, you and Darren, you're like twins. You're the Darren, he's the Anaya. And it's like, but then we're like, man, we can't do, that's not fair because y'all are your own people, man. And he's like the other guy, with us, and he fits in with us, so they start hashing it out. And next thing you know how Reggie is. He goes home, writes this damn story, man.
Right.
And then he's like, Billy, I got something for you. And when he says that, I'm like, man, I don't want to do that. He's like, we're going to ride across the United States in a van, man. It's like, is it going to be your van? Because he's got a Volkswagen van. I'm like, oh, man, okay, I will. And he's like, nah, man, ain't that. The van's already here. We're going to shoot a movie. I want you to, play the lead in the movie. I was like, okay.
So how many days did you guys shoot?
14.
14 days?
Yeah. And then after that, we shot in all New Mexico, and then we did another scene in Joshua Tree. So I've been in like two rocky desertscapes, a mountain, and then a grassy, wooded area mountainscape, all full of wildlife, I love that. But there was a lot of dangerous wildlife out there, so. I was sleeping. I wanted to sleep out in it, but the landscapes were real harsh. There's a lot of beauty in them, man, but real dangerous and harsh. So the first night we got there, of course, I want to sleep outside, Yeah. I had I like to call it a John suit. What I wore, what John wore. I had a black vest, leather vest. I had like a Western style shirt, black denim jeans, the 40-year-old boots, and then they also gave me something really awesome. They gave me one of John's turquoise belt buckles, silver belt buckles he loved to wear. Yeah. I wore that in the movie. They gave me some more of his stuff. I had like a really old Pendleton blanket, beautiful blanket, and a cool pack, and they bought me a badass cowboy hat, which it's not really me.
I gotta see the pictures of this cowboy hat.
It doesn't, I'm an actor, man, I guess, because I was like, wow, I look like I wear these things and shit. So so I got this hat, and they gave me one of this cool.
You do have the face and the style that you could wear just about anything, man, and you kind of fit in. I've never been that way. I just can't pull it off, but you can.
Well, thank you, man. Reggie feels the same way, so he's like sticking me in all these different kind of scenarios, but. So I become John Nieto. John's a little bit shorter than I am, and we have some dissimilar features. So when I saw who it was and all that, man, I kind of got cold feet, and I was like, man, I don't know if I can do this, and I don't think that I'm doing it justice because I don't look like John.
Yeah.
Yes, we're both native. Yes, we have long black hair, which I grew out on a limb, which is weird because it grew up right to the length that he had in my age, and it was just on a whim. I was like, Crystal, I'm going to grow my hair back out. She says, well, why don't you? So I did. So all this stuff led up to, in my life, to this point here. So getting back to should I do it or shouldn't I do it, me and Reggie, we both kept talking about it. I was like, oh, man, you need to do this. You really need to do this. And So I was like, okay, I'll learn the parts. So I learned everything, and I did. And the biggest thing I was worried about was, meeting Renee, because that's her husband, man.
Right.
And then Anaya, that's his dad. And then the public.
That's a little bit of pressure.
There's a lot of pressure. And you know what? They were like, well, we think we're going to get Anaya's cousin to do it because he looks just like him. And then Reggie come back. He's like, I think they're going to go with that. And he's like, no, you're going to do it, man. So Reggie pressed forward, and And, you know, the great thing about Anaya and Renee, you know, they know the creative process. They know it. Of course, Renee, you know, has been John's, you know, manager and, you know, and promoted him and did all the business work all the years.
Right.
And Anaya, you know, in the backside of it, you know, when he got old enough, he took over the business.
He lived in California? Is that, where was he from?
Yeah, no, well, John was from New Mexico. The family's from New Mexico, but and when Anaya took over the art business, you know, of selling John's paintings and all, he moved out, and they put a gallery out there in California. Okay. And, you know, Anaya's a California kid, man. He loves it out there, and he turned me on to California. California, I do like you. You're awesome. I mean, the awesome parts of California is awesome. And that's coming from a guy from the South. You know, John, Anaya had said something to me. And I was like, well, I said, hey, Anaya, what's California like? He said, okay, He said, don't come to California unless you want to be happy. And I was like, okay. So I get out there, and it's like all these people are happy and shit, you know. I was like, cool, you know.
What do you mean being happy?
I know, man. What do you mean? I'm happy. I'm really angry about being happy.
So you shot the movie. It's in post-production right now. It's still being edited.
Yeah, it's being edited right now. And then I went in with Reggie. Reggie had another guy that was going to do the soundtrack and all that. And I was like, man, we need to do the soundtrack. And Ray's like, I would like to do the soundtrack. And he said, well, why don't you do the soundtrack? I was like, I will do the soundtrack. But, you know, the other guy could have did soundtrack. He did a great job, not taking away from nothing on him. That guy's an excellent, excellent person, you know, what he does. But us being in there and being musicians like we have been and songwriters and all over the years, I knew that we can do this, you know. So we talked about it, kicked it around, and we decided, yeah, we're going to do it. And so we were originally going to do all of it in L.A. Still through some friends of Anaya. And then Reggie got a bright idea, hey, why don't we do it in Mississippi at Max there?
Yeah, and so you showed me the pictures. They have a pretty nice studio.
Pretty nice studio.
Yeah.
And we wanted you to come, and because of scheduling, it didn't work out.
It was such short notice, man. Yeah, of course, I would have loved to be a part of it and helped engineer or you know, produce whatever
I
you
needed
it. But next time.
Next time will happen. So we decided we'd try it there because we're both Mississippi-based artists. You know, I mean, I'm born in Louisiana, but Mississippi is my home. Yeah. So we contacted Jerome at the Max. Jerome is an amazing person, and he's really awesome person to deal with. And his love for music and art, I mean, it just comes out of him. You can see it. So Jerome made us a deal we could not refuse, and next thing I know, we're recording there, you know. And we had Jonathan Parkinson. He was our engineer, and he's been great to work with. Very talented singer, songwriter. He knows everything there is about music production, and so we filled the soundtrack with Mississippi-based artists. See, we got David Zettler from Stone Senate playing drums, and
drummer.
He's one of our drummers back in the day.
Good friend.
He's a great friend, and I can't remember some of the names. I hate to say that because I'm terrible with names, but there's a guy named Jamil. I can't remember what Jamil's last name is. It's astounding blues guitarist.
Nice.
Let's see, on slide guitar.
While you're thinking about it, you need another beer?
Yes, I need another beer.
All right, let me get Sabian. Let me get the beer guy.
All right.
Sabian. Yeah. 2 beers, por favor.
I'd say one of the breakout artists is not really a breakout. One of the person that stands out in my mind the most on this soundtrack is Scott McQuaig. Scott McQuaig is such an amazing guitar player, man.
Here you go. You got the bottle opener.
Oh, you don't need that. 1 second. I am the bottle
opener. Thank you, buddy.
No problem.
All right, let's go back and let's talk about Scott McQuaig. Scott McQuaig, if you don't know who he is, please go check him out. Check out his music. Scott McQuaig is And Scott McQuaig and the Tomcats, look him up, man. That guy just kills it, man, when he picks that guitar up, you know. But on some of the songs, he lays down some slide guitar that, I mean, you think, man, you just want to cry in some of it because the emotion in it, you know.
Yeah.
All these songs are written around the story of John, you know.
And you wrote all the songs?
No, me and Reggie and I co-wrote them. Yeah. He wrote the initial parts of 3 of them. I wrote the initial part of the last song.
I see you got your guitar over there. You're gonna play one for me today.
I'm gonna play one of our old songs.
One of our old songs.
Yep.
The Sneaky Tree song.
Yep, sure am.
Ah. If you're gonna play a Sneaky Tree song, I'm gonna smoke a medical cannabis.
Go for it. Okay. I'm gonna smoke some Guinness here. Brought to you.
You're in Florida, man. You can have a puff or two with me.
I'll tell you what. I'm playing a guitar from Katma. They worked with us on the film. They're one of the people that supplied us with some awesome instruments here. So I'm gonna hold off for now. Good Day to Die or Leaves?
Leaves.
Okay. I wrote this song when I was 19, and it's basically about my mother, Rosella, and me. You know, it's a relationship between a mother and a son, and I just had a son born about a little bit over a year ago. His name's Dakota, with my beautiful wife, Crystal, and I see them together. It reminds me of this song. So I dedicate this song to my mother, but I dedicate this song to my beautiful wife, Crystal, and Dakota. The song's called Leaves.
Slow down. What do I do to hit the ground? I'm not in control. I'm spinning about. If I don't stop soon, I will fall down. I'm falling, just like the raindrops that flow to the ground. I'm falling. Rock, fall to the ground. Let's get it up. Why am yellow, brown and green? Oh mother, mother tree. Don't wanna go, I don't wanna go. Let me down gently, I go see to this. I'm falling, just like the raindrops that flow to the ground. I'm falling, like a rock. I'll give it all. I'll give it all. I'll give it all. I'll give it all. Let's give it all. brothers and sisters all over the line. Oh, someday soon I will be free. I'll be like mother and lonely tree. I am falling, just like the raindrops that flow to the ground. I am falling, like a rock down to the ground. I'll give it all. 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 I'll give it all.
Thank you. Was a throwback, huh?
Man, I've always loved that song since the first time you played it. I mean, I'm glad I got to be on some recordings playing bass to it.
Yeah.
That's just it's a timeless song.
It is. It's a beautiful song. It means your mom too. Your mom was our mom. Remember,
Yeah.
she was like our den mom
Yeah.
for our Cub Scout ragtag group.
She was the leader of our fan club.
She bought us vans. She bought us beer.
Caught us smoking weed.
Gave it back to us.
Man.
Got us out of jail.
No, you got me out of jail. She
Okay.
never got me out of jail. She'd be like, you could stay there.
Mom, we broke down in Panama City. We're on the side of the road. Okay. I'll get you out of there, but you have to pay us back. We love you, Mom.
My mother is the best.
She is the best.
I love her. So, back to music. So, for the people that are watching this, you guys don't know, this is a song called Leaves that Billy wrote many, many years ago. He wrote it before I ever knew you, but you're kind enough when we played in a band together to share it with us and teach it to me, and we recorded it, and there's been a few additions, or whatever you want to call it, a few different recordings of that song, and even the way you played it just now is a little different than how we used to play it. And I think you and I we have a version that we recorded a few years ago, and it added some synthesized pads and stuff to
I
it,
loved
just
it.
a little bit different. So
that was a pivot. When we put that together, that song changed for the better, and it actually still is that same kind of makeup. I mean, I really felt that what we did. It was amazing, and that song. And like you say, a timeless song should kind of change with life, you know.
Yeah.
And that's how you know it's a good song, because it stays relevant to.
It's still got the
life.
core, but
Yeah.
you can always kind of just shift it a little bit as time goes on, but you
Right.
never lose that essence of what it is and what made it.
It's got a
what made it
singing
great.
feeling with your soul.
And
you know?
I mean, honestly, hearing it on acoustic and just you singing, solo is like probably the best way.
Thanks.
You don't need drums, you don't need bass guitar, you don't need anything else cluttering it up or getting in the way.
You want to make things so spectacular, these days. You can
Just
do it
keep
with
it-
everything, right?
Just keep it raw, man.
Yeah. And I love sounds, I love sampling, I love electronic music. And the idea of taking, things in their native form and putting them with electronics and all that, man, it's exciting to me. I do love that,
Yeah.
I know.
I think some of the people that know me locally that might watch this, they don't know that, they don't really know about my past and this music and Sneaky Tree and the stuff
Lived
that
in a
we
van
did
for
together.
7 years, man.
They don't know about that. They're like, oh, he's the guy that does drum and bass here in Orlando. They
They don't know that he did the bass. He slapped the bass.
the bass guitar, a real instrument. So,
Yep.
let's see where we're going. I just smoked a joint. I'm a little stoned.
All right, we'll switch
You
gears.
you can just play music for the rest of the podcast, and I'll just sit here and get stoned.
I will. Yeah.
I'll get stoned. Hey, it's Friday night. Let's do it.
We'll switch gears here. I did this movie. This year's been movie. I did another movie called with a good friend of mine, Charlie Breachel. Charlie Breachel Band. He's Hellacious blues guy, man. And Charlie's played with all the greats, all the great blue guys. Know all of them. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and name them all because I don't know the names of them. I do know them when I say it, but BB King, all them, he knows all, knew them, played with them.
Nice.
The backup played, Charlie's got a big claim to fame with the Allman Brothers. I'm not gonna put all his business out there, but Charlie did some time, back in the day for them, and Charlie's a real stand-up guy. If anybody would say something bad about Charlie, I'd have to hit him, man. I just have to hit him. I got to meet Charlie at Sturgis when I was riding my bike Indian giver up there, and when I was dressed in, sometimes I'll go riding out there in some of the shows, and especially in Sturgis, and, in the Black Hills area and all that. I paint myself.
Man, I got to go up there with you.
You got to go.
When is that happening?
It's happening this year, and you come up here and play a set for me, man. Come up here and play. It's happening in Sturgis. Happens in I think first week of August. It's easily found,
Yeah,
but you need to come up here and
I'm
play.
out of the loop, but give me the dates, man. I need to plan it now. If I'm going to go, I need to plan it now.
All right.
Let's do it because I want to go.
Well, you're going to come over and play.
All right.
You're going to come over and play because this is great.
Come up and play. Come and play drum and bass?
Yes.
At Sturgis at the motorcycle rally?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Because you know what? It ain't about just rock and roll these days or blues, where it's about good music, man. And this is where we're going to switch gears. And we'll go back to talking about Charlie because there's, we
can talk about anything we want to.
All right. You come to Sturgis. All right, we'll put the Sturgis back on the shelf. Let's talk about Charlie because Charlie... All right. Anyway, I paint myself from here down red, because my name in Choctaw is Oshe Homa, and that means the red sun. I am that sun that is red. I am the son of red people, over the idea of red, So anyway, I got invited to do a bike show, ride-in bike show. I rode my bike up in there. I got eagle feather and buzzer feathers in, and I'm looking like an American Indian man,
Yeah, I saw the video.
Yeah, brutal, man. So I go do that. I got my tomahawk. Get people want to take pictures, and I do that. And I talk to people, and I love that. I love meeting people and inspiring people, man. And I really love hearing people's everyday lives, where they come from, and so here comes this guy up, man. He's doing. He has his own show. Charlie does radio show. And he also is hooked up with BikerNet. BikerNet, awesome. Go check BikerNet out. Check out their Facebook page. There's like a zillion followers on there. There's a reason why there is, because it's an awesome site to go to. It's real informative. There's always something cool happening about motorcycles and all. Well, anyway, he does an interview with me on spot there, and we start talking. We start talking about Jackie. Jackie's my tattoo master, Jackie Gresham and Art Accent.
Yeah, every time I see any, like I watch Viceland a lot, and they always have like different tattoo shows and stuff. Every time they show anything in New Orleans or any women tattoo artists, she's always on there.
Yeah, she is always on there.
And it's always kind of cool for me because I know her as Jackie. I know she's a great artist, but she was
just on Viceland a while ago, huh?
Yeah.
Well, she was on there for another friend of mine, Annette LaRue, Electric Lake Lion. Me and Annette, Jackie's our tattoo master. Yeah. She's the one that made. She's the one that made us be who we already are. She takes you and makes you who you are already, and just molds you up to what you are. She puts you through the motions. She don't change you. She takes away stuff that you don't have, or takes the best out of you and show you that you are you. So that's the great thing about Jackie, man. And then that show was about Annette, man. And congratulations, Annette. You deserve all the recognition. Nice. You're wonderful.
Yes, you're correct. That was Annette.
It was Annette.
That's the exact show.
That's badass. She's always had been badass. But
she talks about her older shop in New Orleans.
Yeah, the Electric Ladyland. It's groundbreaking. And Jackie, man, Jackie's proud of that, because without Jackie, we wouldn't be here now, man. You and I wouldn't. And Annette, she wouldn't have touched all the lives she has and all. Well, anyway, everybody knows who Jackie is. So we got to talking. Charlie and I got to talking. It's like we all know the same people, and in New Orleans this and that, and a baseball bat, who dat, whatever. So, he's like, dude, I got to come get tattooed from you, man. So he comes to my shop. I have a shop in Sturgis every year called Rock and Roll Tattoo. There's many rock and roll tattoos, but mine is the rock and roll of tattoos. So he comes and we do interview there, and we're sitting there talking, and he's like, dude, you gonna come play with me tomorrow at the Buffalo Chip. You want to come on stage and play with me and play with my band? So I show up. We go do that. And, man, it was smashing ass awesome to play with these killer musicians, man. You got piano, you got bass, you got, you know, Charlie, you know, doing his thing. You got this young cat, man, jamming on the guitar, you know. More Led Zeppelin going over there than Led Zeppelin's going, you know. Right. Kenny Nichols on the drums, man. That dude just tears it up, you know. So we got to do that. Got to play with them. I show up and wear native clothes and all, and, you know, we do a lot of good old New Orleans tunes, man, some second line stuff and all that, and blues stuff. And then he's like, dude, I got a movie, man. I'm shooting. You're going to be in it. I was like, what, man? We got to stop hanging out now. We're doing too much together, you know.
Snowballing.
Yeah, man, snowballing. So he's already done a couple movies, and you know, go check out Charlie on BikerNet, and you'll see all the films he has are available. There's on Netflix or Amazon Prime, I believe. But this movie is called Bad Boys, and I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Rough Boys. Sorry.
Rough Boys, Bad Boys. I think that's.
Yeah, that one was taken.
I think it's Will Smith. And,
that was taken. So Charlie's like, we'll call this Rough Boys, huh? You know, right? I mean, so you know, we shot that movie. Well, he shot that movie, and I came and did a walk-on part. Of course, I'm typecast Native American actor, so I played Native American parts. You know. So I played an ancient Cherokee warrior in the movie, and
are you going to try to stereotype yourself as the native guy?
I'm fine with that.
Hey, man, you know, if you're working
hey, making money, man. Hey, you know, I say I'm 50 now, so I need to get beat up a little bit because I'm gonna be the Native American Danny. You know.
You just turned 50.
I just turned 50.
November 10th.
November 10th, 1969. You know, I want to be the Danny Trejo, Native American. How do you say his name again?
You know, don't call me out because I'll.
You say it better than I do.
I would. Trejo?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
I'll screw it up.
I'll be like, hey, Dan, what's going on?
Anybody watching this can fact check, sound check.
Danny, man, I want to be your stand-in.
I'll screw it up.
I need to be your stand-in in your movies, man. Just call me up, man. But anyway, we did that movie. It was down in Dothan, Alabama. It's got a bunch of royalty and motorcycle them, chopping them and all that. There's a bunch of guys in there, man, that are like the people that made motorcycles.
Where can we find this? Is it streaming anywhere?
It's going to be streaming all on, you know, I know Netflix does their own thing, so I think it's going to be Amazon and all that. But yeah, it's going to be out. We're going to be, we'll be doing, he'll be doing like premieres all over the United States. So if I was you, I'd go over to BikerNet and take a look at that. It's a cool movie, man. Cool biker movie, man. Director is Dave from Easy Riders, Dave Nichols, man, which is so cool, man. Wow. Dave, man, is such a cool guy, and there's so much history behind Dave. Dave did all those Easy Rider movies back in the day when I was a kid and saw him. All those Easy Rider movies, man. Ooh, badass, man. Dave and Man, he did, you know, all that. I mean, that's all part of that, you know. So Dave directed the movie. He was awesome to work with. We did a lot of one takes because it just, you know, clicks, man. One takes are awesome. But Rough Boys, go see it. It's coming out. So that's coming out. We got, you know, of course, Spirit Walk.
What's Spirit Walk? That's the name
American,
of the.
Yeah, David. American Spirit Walk. That's coming out. Did a lifestyle film at Sturgis for. They call it a lifestyle film. It's basically a long commercial, but that was with Mobile One Oil Company. And
the oil company,
yeah,
really?
No, American Indians and oil companies.
Hey, we're gonna take your land because we want the fucking oil.
Yeah, and then we want you to ride our commercial. You know, and it was with the AutoZone. No, sorry, O'Reilly's Auto Parts. You know what I mean.
Better get your sponsors right.
Hey, man, you know, send me some checks now. I'm naming your names.
Send me the checks. You're saying it on my show.
Exactly. Send him the checks and send me a check after you send him a check. I'm gonna come see you.
I don't think I'm quite there yet.
I know.
Maybe one day some sponsors will come along, but I'll pass on the oil companies. Nah, fuck that. I'll take their money.
Take their money, man.
Take their money. Give me the money.
I think they probably smoke weed too. You know. We're going to kill Kennedy and take weed away from him. But who wants to be in the commercial?
Wow.
American Indian? I said that, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Well,
you said they killed Kennedy.
I mean, I saw the movie. Y'all saw it. So.
I thought it was the mafia.
It wasn't Mobile One, was it?
I mean, they could be the mafia. I'm pretty sure they are. Most big corporations are these days, right?
Mobile One's like, he's out of here.
You're next, buddy.
Oh, damn. Well, I had paint on, so you may not recognize. Oh, shit. Put that black thing on.
You want me to disguise your voice?
Yeah.
In the middle of the podcast?
Right.
It's not the same guy anymore.
No, it's not.
You sure
me.
you didn't smoke this joint?
I did not smoke. I did not smoke that joint. You know.
I think you should.
I didn't inhale.
I think you should.
Oh man,
smoke with me.
I gotta drive back to
see where the conversation goes.
Texarkana, Mississippi.
Make some silly jokes.
I thought we was doing that.
We are. All right, so the multiple movies, documentary.
Working on Sneaky Tree record right now. We're in the middle of that.
Before we get to the music part, one more thing as far as being in front of cameras go, and that's tattoos and turnpikes.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Tell me about that, man.
So much shit coming out this year.
That's a crazy one, right? You guys, it's a reality series.
Yeah, we got I'm a part of a TV show called Tattoos and Turnpikes. It's coming out also around the same damn time, so you're gonna probably get sick of seeing me, but at least there's different versions of me.
You'll be all over the place, man.
We'll be all over the place at one time. It's kind of nutty, man, but
how lucky am I to have you in my house tattooing my back tonight?
Because you said, Billy, get your butt down here. I want you in between the hours of so-and-so and so-and-so.
That's right. That's what kind of power I hold,
right,
baby.
I
got power in this town.
You got to cross into Mississippi, too. I'm like, okay, I'll be there. And I'm late, always late, but I pretty much made it here.
Hey, you did. It was perfect, man.
Yeah.
It worked out.
Well, look, Tattoos and Turnpikes is a brainchild of Big Dave. He's up in Missouri. He has Big Dave Kenoy. That's what we call him, Big Dave. But Dave is such a tremendous spirit. Now he also has been on Spirit Walk. I don't know how long he's in jail, but he was in jail.
I think I've been on the Spirit Walk a few times when I've taken mushrooms and LSD.
Right.
I'm fucking around.
I mean, I have too. I mean,
it can help.
That's an interesting thing because
it can help you go that way.
Well, that's interesting because there's are vehicles to take you into spirit world to drop the blinders of everyday life. Yeah. So yes, hallucinogenics has been a big part of going into seeing in the spirit world and things like that. But going back to Dave, he was into a lot of legal stuff. And went down the wrong path, ended up in prison. But Dave had a dream to be a art teacher because Dave is a great artist, man, great illustrator, and he works really clean and fast, so clean, man. To be such a big, scary-looking bearded biker. But he came out of prison. He quit drinking, smoking, anything, and changed his whole life and became a tattoo artist. Let's roll down the road real quick. So he goes. We see all these, as a tattoo artist, we see all these TV shows that are nothing like what tattooing is. And right. I can go down and...
to me, tattooing is seeing 20 Navy guys passed out on your tattoo floor waiting all night to get tattooed.
And you working. Yep, that's right.
And you working all night. Right. I wasn't an artist. I was a piercer. I learned how to pierce. But you would sit there and tattoo those guys all night. There was nothing glamorous about it.
Nothing at all.
I would be playing chess with people or putting music on and... drinking beers.
Friday and leave Sunday.
Yeah. We would just sit there and work all weekend long. It was fun. It was great. It was a fucking awesome time, but it wasn't glamorous.
You do 30 tattoos and make $1,500.
Yeah.
You do 2 tattoos these days and make that. People see that. And that's the thing about TV, that doesn't show what tattooing like in the 90s were. Look, like I said, I learned from Jackie and back then, that the 90s, people that were in control of the 90s like Jackie and Judy Parker, people like that, they were part of a biker culture that was dangerous. And you go into a tattoo shop back then, when we were younger, you just shut your mouth and sat there and hope you didn't get the crap beat out of it.
I remember the first time I got tattooed by the first tattoo I ever got was in Gulfport. Is that in Alabama? Gulfport?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah, was it that big David's Gallery, or was it?
I don't remember. It was Reggie and I actually went. I got a little bitty thing, whatever I could get for like $35, $40, whatever I had at the time.
Yeah.
This is like, how old was I? I was like 19, so it was a long time ago. The second tattoo I got was from that old biker dude in Meridian, your old friend, Junior.
Right.
And yeah, man, there was nothing personal about him. He was gruff as fuck. Just, he didn't care. You know, like now, to me, that was tattooing.
Yeah, that was
I didn't know
tattooing.
anything. I was a young kid, you know. I'm like 19
shut
years
up,
old,
be
getting a
quiet,
tattoo on my
or
arm.
get out
and
of
he's
there.
like, get over here, boy, you know. It's
Yeah.
like, pick out your designs, you know.
Doug Spalding.
It was fucking gruff and it was dirty. And I'm not saying it was dirty. His equipment was clean, I'm sure. But his, you know, it was in this old rundown house and there was just nothing glamorous
dogs
about
and parakeets. And
yeah. Yeah. So,
a cut off hand.
you know, and back then, man, people looked, especially being in Mississippi, people looked down on you for having tattoos. You were bad. You were bad news. You were a troublemaker.
Right.
Cops, the citizens, everybody involved looked down on you.
Right.
Every celebrity didn't have sleeves.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you've been working on shit on my arm for years. I never walked into a tattoo shop and said, "Oh, give me a whole sleeve."
They do
and
now.
that's what they do now.
That's what I do.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I want the whole sleeve, and I'm not knocking it. There's amazing artwork. The advancements in
Dynamics have totally
what you can do are just blow me away. You know, some of the designs that I see, but it just was a different time. You know, people. I went through a lot of negativity toward me because of tattoos, and at the time there was something about it as being a young man that I liked that. You know, I'm like, I don't want to fit in with you, and I don't want to fit in with your society.
Right.
I want to rebel against you. But now it's like tattooing's not. I love the artwork. It's really awesome, but it's not quite as a defying statement, you know, a defiant statement anymore.
Actually, it's expected for you to have it. Why don't you everybody has to have a sleeve or their sleeve, like they're entitled to their sleeve, or, well, you know, yeah, you're entitled to it if you pay me to do it, but, you know, it's not like what tattooing really was, a badge of courage, or, you
Hold
know.
on 1 second.
All right.
I got a little chihuahua trying to get in here. All right, come on, little
Come on,
brown
buddy.
dog.
Come on and bark at me for 35 minutes. There you go. This dog, man.
Lavamba wanted to come in. You can't see him on camera, but he's down there.
I'm not going to pick him up because I don't get bit in front of
He's a
him.
little
Everybody.
He's getting old, man. I found that guy in Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah.
He's 12 years old now.
I wish they could see the picture. Maybe you can cut into that. Show the picture, man. You'd say, I was laughing about it. This dog has so much attitude. It's
Let me
ridiculous.
show it.
Yeah.
Let me get it and show it. I can take it off the wall.
This dog has been here before. Many places.
I don't know if you can see it because of the light. There he is. And the Brooklyn Bridge. There he is, right there. La Bamba. Oh, what, do you want to go out now? We're trying to shoot a podcast, buddy.
He can do whatever he wants to do.
And
Put that right there.
He does whatever he wants to do. So.
This podcast is not brought to you by Guinness, but if they will sponsor us, or, you know, let's call our people and we'll talk to your people. And
So cool, man. This has been
it's been pretty cool.
fucking awesome so far.
And I'm going to tell you a little more about tattoos and drum fights, because
Yeah, let's get back into that.
All right.
We get a little sidetracked.
we got sidetracked. But all right, Dave's like, man, you know what? All these tattoo shows are ridiculous. Yeah, at first we're like, yeah, it's cool, tattooing's on the internet, but or whatever. But all you got all this arguing and stuff, and you got these guys, man, with ears stretched to their feet and talking about they're gonna whoop somebody's ass, and all you do is, you know, pull that ring right out their ear, and they're gonna be like, oh, you know. I mean, look, you know, if somebody talks me like that, I'm gonna punch them in the face, man, or headbutt them or something. But you got these guys just going back and forth and all that, and then they're supposed to do these creative works of art, and it's just bull crap, straight up. And, you know, look, I don't put up with that personally, because I don't want to talk to nobody like that, and I don't want nobody to talk to me like that. And, you know, it just makes tattooing something different than what people like myself believe the tattooing should be. Yes, if you work in a place and you do stupid stuff and you got a boss like mine, Jackie, she's going to put you in your place, and you're going to do what she says. You're not going to talk back to her and stick your finger in her face. If you do, one of us is going to chop that finger off.
Yeah.
You know, because it's respect. You know, I had a tattoo master, a real one. You know, and I was an apprentice, I was a journeyman, and then one day, 10 years later, I became a tattoo master, and I've been one for a long time, and I continue to be a master because I'm constantly trying to master my techniques. And then that's something she taught me. You know, it don't matter how old you are. You must keep growing. You must keep on stretching yourself, stretching your mind, And not just that, and everything you do. And that's what she does. She does that in every damn thing that she does, man. And so going back to Dave, Dave's like, I'm going to make my own TV show. So he wrote it, he put it all together, and he, started putting it out there and saying, dude, I'm going to put this show together. And I was like, And he said he was coming through, the South.
Right.
And I was like, man, I could help this guy. And I was like, so I'm going to hook him up with Jackie. And when I call him, I just put a little, I think I posted on there. And then next thing you know, we're talking on the phone. And he's like, dude, yeah, I want to talk to Jackie. And then he realized that I was Spacey from the Horse magazine and all that. And, I've been writing for them for years. Crystal Blues, main photographer, shot bunches of covers. And, we've done tons and tons of interviews and rode our chopper all over anywhere we can. So he was like, man, do you know this person? Bill Dodge? Bill Dodge is one of my greatest friends. He's like my big brother, man. He is my big brother, Bill Dodge. We love each other.
Legendary builder, right?
Legendary builder, man. No one can ever find a better guy than Bill damn Dodge, hell no. And so Warren Lane, super scientist, motorcycle builder. Warren is awesome and super serious. I can get him laugh though. Here's Warren. He just laughed.
That's a laugh.
Yeah.
That's like I broke him. You cracked.
Hey man, we did some dangerous shit on that show, man. We rode 4 deep. Sometimes we had some secret guests come on the show. And we rode, man, the whole way. They started out in St. Louis area. I already did a couple shows, met up with me in New Orleans. I introduced them to Jackie. I showed them around French Quarter, and I can't tell you all of it. Then we did a show with me. And then after at the end of the show, they're like, man, this guy's got to come with us. So they asked me on the show to go be on the show with them. And I'd already told Crystal, I was like, I'm going to follow them for, a couple 100 miles, man. They were like, is that a Spacey guy back there? And I'd be like, no, man, I'll just drive this way. But they asked me to be on the show, and I was like, hell yeah, So we transversed Florida together, which is a dream of mine, to ride all the way pretty much around Florida possible. We went all the way to Key West, went back up through Miami, saw Warren, saw Bill, saw Willie, Willie's Tropical Tattoo, another pioneer tattooer in Florida.
He's in Ormond Beach?
Yes, he's in Ormond Beach. He's Willie's Tropical Tattoos. You'll go see him. He's been doing Willie's Chopper Show.
Right, yeah.
World famous show.
I came over for that a couple times.
And that parking lot is full of 1,000 people, man. And it is baking. The sun's either baking or it's freezing cold. But man, it's such an awesome damn show, man. Everybody around the world goes to that show, man. It's like the most popular chopper show that I think can be ever mentioned, in our time. Man, that dog do what he wants to do. He ain't biting me, man.
He's going out. Go out.
Well, we did all these interviews, and then we broke apart. We went up and did Jason Harms, who's got an awesome shop. Jason Harms is in Jacksonville, Florida. Jason Harms and me, same age, same bringing up and tattooing. We learned from the old school way of doing it, but we brought our abilities in and mixed with that. So, live wire tattoo, go see Jason Harms. He will hook you up to some pain and awesome colors. So at that point, we broke off from the show. I left, Dave and them, they took off, and then I packed my bike up with 100 pounds of bullshit, and I met up with Roadside Marty, one of my close friends, great. Roadside Marty's a MC, and a very popular MC. He's a rider. He's a motorcycle builder. It was Jason, Marty, me, and Bill Dodge, and who else was it? I'll remember in a minute, man. But we rode from there and we went to Smokeout that year. And
that's in Tennessee?
Yeah, it's in Tennessee. No, that was in North Carolina. Yeah. But anyway, Tattoos and Turnpikes, we got turned down by a bunch of networks.
You don't need the networks anymore, man.
Well, then we thought we did. Now we know that. Now, I'm not.
Things are changing. It's kind of like, you used to need a record label. You used to need a major label to get your music out there. Right. And now we know that you don't necessarily need that. Same thing in television.
And that's the thing about Dave that I like, because he turned them down. The Big D channel, I want to call people out and I'll be negative. They wanted us to go back and re-record the show, and they wanted us to follow around a famous actor from that show. Riding in this world, we're all gang motorcycle guys, that show.
Really? So they wanted to basically script.
They wanted to script it
instead of it be raw and real.
Right, and that was the whole premise. Dude, he had the money, man. He could have did that. You know what I'm saying? When they were ready to hand off it.
It would have cheesed it out, man, instead of what it is. It would have. Right now, it's guys riding around on their motorcycles that are tattoo artists, motorcycle builders.
Yeah.
Visiting other tattoo artists, tattoos and turnpikes, exactly what the name says, and not some cheesy scripted Hollywood bullshit.
We only did one takes on too, and if we tripped over something, we just rolled it, and walked out of it. There's a lot of stuff we could not put anywhere on there because these guys up north have mouths that sailors would slap, like, how dare you say that? And it's funny, but I was like, yeah, what'd you say? you know what I'm saying, man? I feel dirty now.
I need some cotton in my ears.
Most of these people would not be on those shows. As soon as they would not even talk to somebody like that. No offense against actors or anything, but these guys are real people. Warren Lane's not going to talk to some dude on this TV show. Right. He's got shit to do. Make things, man. Craftsmen, make things. These guys get up at 4:30 in the morning, and they're already making things, and they work till 8 o'clock that night, 10 o'clock that night. Bill Dodge, Warren, both of those guys. I keep going back to those guys because they're probably some of the truest form people that I know a lot of famous builders, and I'm not taking away from them. I'm saying that I know these guys.
Right.
I know them.
Well, you spend time with them on the road, seeing what they do, learning their personalities, and seeing their drive. And
and they're not going to let some Hollywood nobody come in there.
Right.
One funny thing.
Well, I commend them for not accepting that just for a payday, because it's easy to do.
Right.
I mean, who doesn't want more money? Well, but at the same time, to really display the craft and what it is, the lifestyle, and who you are. Taking that Hollywood money and cheesing it out with some scripted bullshit, it would just ruin it. It would just ruin it. And then at the end of the day, people would watch that and not really know who those guys are, not know who you are, and it just would have been fake.
Been a flop.
Yeah. It might not would have been a flop. It might would have made a shit ton of money and had a lot of episodes. Yeah. But it would be fake.
Well, it would have been a flop for us because we'd have been X'd out of it. You know.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah, we'd have been X'd out of it. Eventually, it'd have been turned into something else. It would have been lost. But it is going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on YouTube. We're going to release on YouTube. I think there's going to be 10 episodes. It comes out every week. Get on the Tattoos and Turnpikes on Facebook. Please do that, and you'll know when it's coming out.
When I post this, man, you can give me any link to anything, and I'll share it that way too.
But I got tons of links, man.
Shout it out, plug everything on here.
Tons of links, man. One funny thing about the show, and we can switch there. Warren was like, he had this Silent Gray fellow. It's a 100-year-old motorcycle at least, and he showed it to us. And Warren's real resourceful, and he got this bike from a kid somewhere or something like that. And the bike is about near perfect, and he didn't do a lot. He didn't do, I don't think, a terribly lot to maintain it and put it back, to ride in order. But so Warren's like, hey, let's take it out in the parking lot and we'll ride it around. And we get out there, and then wow, that's awesome. And he's doing all these. He's doing figure eights and all that. Now, this bike has no brakes, has nothing. The motor is controlled by, some controls, retarding the motor and all that. Something that nobody in our we don't know nothing about that. We have brakes. We have a throttle. This is
I'm trying to imagine what you're talking about, but I don't even know if I have my imagination.
He's got sticks coming out of the motor, and he's got this thing here and all that, and all of a sudden you're going. But you got to be on a kickstand and pedal the bike, and then pop off of it, and you're riding. Okay, that's a lot of work, man. So he's like, okay, you ready to ride it? I was like, what? And Dave was like, we have no insurance here. You're riding a bike that's $80,000 motorcycle, You know, and I'm like not the guy to do that. I'm like, you know me, how lackadaisical. Y'all would never let me drive, you know, unless you were really like, God dang, man, I gotta get out. You gotta drive. If we die, we'll never know. So everybody's like sweating bullets, man. I stall it. Finally, he gets it running. I go, and I'm going around this industrial parking lot, and I'm headed right towards two parked vans. And I'm like, oh, what am I doing? I narrowly missed it. I go around the building. And I go way back there, and I finally get to a point where I can turn it around. And I know they were like, oh, God, you know, wait for the crash or something. I come back around, they're like, yeah. You know? So you know, that's one of the funny parts.
Wow.
You know?
Well, so Tattoos and Turnpikes, YouTube, you know, about when is that going to be out and available?
They're cutting it, too.
There's a trailer. Isn't there a trailer for it?
Yep.
There's some clips or stuff online
sure
so
is.
people can check it out, kind of get a better idea
Yep, there
of
is.
what it's about.
Yeah, if you get on, like I said, get on Facebook and look at our page, Tattoos and Turnpikes there. Press the like button and follow button. I'm guilty of not following people I like sometimes.
Speaking of tattoos, you about ready to tattoo me?
Yes, I am.
Anything else you want to bring up before we wrap this up?
Hey, I really appreciate the opportunities that God's given me in my life, and I've been through a lot of ups and downs, and I'm just going to tell you, man, I really believe in God, and I love all the opportunities He's given me. I've made a lot of great friends. I believe that God has a plan for our lives, many plans, and we kind of choose those plans as we go along, and that's part of the thing that God gave us is the ability to make decisions and stuff. And I'm so happy to be alive. I'm really happy to have everything I have, and it's not a lot, but I encourage you to look inside yourself and see what God is to you and explore that, and I hope that you become happy too. And I love my family. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my brother.
Well, I love you, Billy, man. I'm glad you made it over here to spend some time with me. I'm ready to get some ink in my back.
Me too.
It's been a while. Maybe drink a couple more beers.
Drink a couple more beers. I mean, no, I'm not drinking more beers.
Yes.
I'll leave you with a phrase, Native American phrase that's universal for us. It's a Lakota phrase. It's Madakiase. Madakiase is
all my relations.
It's a prayer. It means all my relations. So, you know.
You didn't think I remembered that, did you?
You remember everything.
Not anymore. Used to, but.
So, with that saying, I give this gift to you, my friends out there. Madakiase, all my relations.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Pretty awesome. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Awesome. That was awesome.
Sweet.
Everybody hits me up for shit when I ain't around.
Hour and 25 minutes.
I think I was badass.
Perfect.
No punch.
Perfect. I got this. I was like, well, do I wrap it up or do I just tell Billy to play another song while I go?
Savin, let's get that tattoo stuff set up. Let's set up the tattoo thing.